is Harper Aldrich, and I'm here at Fuquay Varina High School investigating the alleged suicide of Samantha Horsworth, a young teen trapped in a world of deception and lust. Was it suicide? A hate crime? How about a desperate cry for attention? Find out here on Case Closed.
Let's introduce the victim. Samantha Horsworth, a senior at FVHS, kind, smart, and had just been accepted into one of the best colleges in the country. So why kill herself? Well, we think there is more to this pill-popping tragedy, so let's gather the facts. Fact 1. Samantha was found on April 12th, around 10 p.m. next to a bottle of sleeping pills and a suicide note. Fact 2. Dewey Wallace was the first responder and had the case ruled as an easy, quick suicide and dismissed the need for an autopsy. He's also the father of Samantha's close friend, Marla Wallace. Fact 3. Samantha had been recently accepted into Harvard for the study of medicine. It was something she often talked about to friends and family. Fact 4. Samantha was the most popular girl in school and had everything she wanted. So why kill herself? With all these facts we've gathered, it's almost impossible for Sam's death to be anything but foul play.
I'm starting my investigation with a series of interviews beginning with Seth Meyers. Seth has agreed to sit down and answer a few questions. Seth, thank you so much for being here. I would like to start off by asking you, what is your relationship with Samantha?
She was my girlfriend's best friend, so I kind of got to know her. We never really hung out alone.
Where were you on April 12th at 10 p.m.?
Yeah, I was at home with my friend. We were on the Xbox playing Call of Duty.
Okay, and do you have proof of that claim?
You could check my live account. I was playing the whole night.
And did you notice any signs of suicidal thoughts or depression whenever you were with Samantha?
We didn't really spend much time together, so I don't really know. Whenever we did spend time together, I was with Marla. But yeah, from what Marla said, I saw some signs.
And did you notice anyone who had a grudge against her or might want to hurt her?
Like I said, we were close, so I wouldn't really know. But yeah, actually at school that day, I saw her and her boyfriend Liam. Yeah, he was mad at her. They were fighting. I don't know.
Do you think he'd want to hurt her?
No, not at all. He's a nice guy. Them fighting might have pushed her over the edge, but I definitely think it was a suicide.
And just to be clear, you don't suspect any foul play?
From what I know, Sam, she seems sad, so I don't know why suicide seems like such a crazy idea.
So that's all. Thank you for participating. Oh, could I get your number in case I have any additional questions I'd like to ask you?
I leave Seth in deep thought, trying to match my already known facts to his story. I keep the number he gave me close, my first piece of evidence. Seth's alibi seemed solid, but he didn't have much of a motive. But Liam, Sam's boyfriend, has a motive but not the alibi. I take a quick drive to Liam's house to get the info that may help me further solve this mystery.
Liam Auburn, thank you for inviting me into your home to answer some questions.
No problem. I'd do anything for Sammy.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine how hard this must be for you.
She was a good person. She really was.
So who are you in relation to Sam?
I was her boyfriend for 2 years.
Okay, and I have several eyewitnesses who saw you and Sam fighting right before she died. What were you two fighting about?
Sam had been distant for a few days, and so I guess when it all happened, I wasn't that surprised.
I'm sorry, but that's not what I asked you. Why were you fighting?
Like I said before, she had ignored me for a few days, so I went over to her house to ask her, and then she kicked me out. So.
Okay, where did you say you went after the fight?
I went for a drive. I was upset, and I really needed to clear my head.
And your statement to the police, you said you went to a friend's house.
Right. I went on a drive to my friend's house. But before I got there, Seth called, and so I turned around and came back.
So you don't suspect any foul play?
Who's gonna hurt my Sammy?
All right, well, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Samantha was the most popular girl in school, so you can imagine that she had some enemies. I looked through her records at the school and saw that she had multiple issues with a girl named Judy Farland. Samantha attempted to place a restraining order on Judy only 2 weeks before her death. Was Judy trying to protect her future by stopping the restraining order from going through?
Today I am in search of answers to Samantha's classmate, Judy Farland. Judy was a... There she is!
Whoa, hey! Is this about Samantha? Because I had nothing to do with that.
I have here in this police report that you claimed you were at movies with some friends on April 12th, Samantha's alleged suicide.
Yes, so what? I have 8 eyewitnesses that can tell you that.
Okay, but I also have an attempted restraining order placed against you by Sam. You put a dead animal in her locker, correct?
Yeah, so what? Samantha was a whore. She bullied me non-stop. I just wanted to give her a warning, okay? Just leave me alone. I didn't kill Samantha, if that's what you're asking. But I'd sure like to shake the hands of the person who did.
Are you aware that those are the same pills that were found by Samantha's body?
They're just prescription, okay?
Judy had all the means to kill Samantha, and she sure didn't seem too shaken up by her death. Did she do it? Samantha's parents gave me access to her phone to see who she was talking to the night she died. Once I went through her phone records, I saw that she had called Seth only an hour before she died. I thought that was strange because Seth said numerous times that they only had a mutual relationship through Marla. So I decided to look at her messages to Seth to see if I would find the same strange results. I was shocked to see multiple flirtatious messages between the two. These messages went all the way back to 2 months ago. Sam was cheating on Liam with her best friend's boyfriend. Maybe the reason Sam is dead is because of a jealous best friend and girlfriend. We now go to my interview with Marla to find out.
Marla, I understand that you're Samantha's best friend. Now, I'm very sorry for your loss, but I appreciate that you agreed to sit down with me and answer a few questions.
I just lost my best friend in the whole world.
Like I said, I understand that you're upset. Are you sure you feel comfortable doing the interview?
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Marla are best friends. Do you really think that she was capable of suicide?
She's my best friend, and she always will be. And had I been a better friend, like, maybe I would have noticed the signs. But she started getting distant from me, and Seth started getting distant from me. You know, I thought it was myself. I thought there was something wrong with me. And I'm so glad that Seth's here, because he's been so helpful and everything. And I love him so much. And
So you don't have any grudges against Samantha?
of course not. How could you say something like that? I changed my mind. I don't want to do this anymore.
Wait, you don't think that it's strange that Seth and Samantha began to drift apart from you at the same time?
What are you implying? I'm leaving.
Are Marla's tears rooted from the sadness of losing a best friend, or are the tears flooding in from the guilt of killing Sam? One anonymous neighbor came forward with a report of what she heard and saw. Now let's hear it.
Yes, I'm sure it was April 12th. I was outside on my porch when I heard this awful racket come from inside my neighbor's home. Now, I had noticed a white van parked in the driveway that was not usually there, but I hadn't thought anything of it until suddenly 2 people stormed out of the house and they were yelling just as loud as they could. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but it was bad. Then the boys stormed into the white van and they drove away. Only 10 minutes after the white van left, another car pulled up, and about an hour after that, I saw a police car pull into the driveway and leave with another girl.
That really helps with the timeline, and I think I've almost got it figured out. Then there will finally be justice for Samantha Horsworth and her family. Detective Dewey Wallace, Marla's father and lead detective on the case, was the first to arrive on scene. Does Dewey have a motive? I don't think so. But is he the type of person who would do anything for his daughter? Let's see.
I'm Harper Eldridge, and I'm here with Detective Dewey Wallace. Dewey, I understand your involvement. You've been very involved with this case. And seeing that your daughter was best friends with the victim. Now tell me, how did you stay so focused on the facts given your emotional involvement?
Well, it is my job to put the facts above everything else. And I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at it.
Well, I read in your files that you haven't always been so good at that. It says that you dropped multiple charges against your daughter and her friends until you got caught and suspended this past year. How did you come back from that?
I've made mistakes, true. But I proved myself to my colleagues and I got my spot back on the force. And I regret my actions, but I am good at what I do.
I also read in your files that you were the first responder. How did you arrive at the scene so quickly?
My daughter was going to spend the night at Sam's house that night, and when she got there, she found Sam like that. She called me frantically, and I rushed over there as fast as I could, and I did my duties as a detective and a father.
Now, I only asked this because of your past actions, but did you help your daughter get away with this crime?
How dare you accuse my family of such a horrible crime? I did my job. I used the facts to determine that Sam's death was a suicide.
Speaking of ruling her death, it sure seems that you came to this conclusion way too quickly.
I have had enough of you accusing me and my family of a crime I did not commit. This interview is over.
I still don't think I have enough evidence to find justice for Samantha Horsworth. It's time for one final interview.
I already answered your question. I've already done my interview. Why am I here?
We've all done interviews, Seth.
So, what's going on?
Yes, thank you for coming. Bill, come on in.
Bill Savager, what do you think you're doing here?
Turn around, you're under arrest.
What? I didn't do anything. I stopped
Come on,
doing
Bill.
this.
Come on.
Get off me,
Confused? Let me explain. I'm gonna take you back to the night of the murder.
Samantha anxiously sat at home all alone awaiting Seth. She was just on the phone with him minutes before and asked him to come over so she could tell him the big news. Liam unexpectedly arrives at her house, wanting to apologize for arguing with her the day at school. Samantha was frantic to get him out of the house before Seth arrives. Liam didn't know about her and Seth, and Samantha wanted it to stay that way. So finally, after a long argument, Liam angrily leaves her house, and Samantha is heartbroken. She continues to wait at home, nervous for Seth's arrival, but what she didn't know was that she was waiting for her murderer. Seth enters Samantha's home and can instantly see how distraught she is. Samantha hesitantly sat down with Seth and informed him of her pregnancy. Seth was astonished. This would ruin him. The secret would be out and destroy his relationship with Marla. So Seth decided irrationally that the only solution was murder. Upon telling Seth the news, Samantha started to cry in shame, so Seth offered to get her a glass of water to appear generous and level-headed. Seth went into the kitchen and got her a glass of water, like he said. Then he takes out his Adderall that he takes for his ADHD and crushed them into Samantha's drink. He mixes the drink until there is no sign that he's spiked it. When he goes back into the living room, he makes sure to give Sam the right drink and just waits until it kicks in. Samantha collapses only after one sip. Seth doesn't notice the time when Marla walks in and just in time to see Seth standing over Sam's dead body. She yells and demands Seth to tell her what happened. He made up a lie right on the spot. Seth told Marla that they were taking the pills to get high, and Sam accidentally took too much. Marla calms down and texts her father, Detective Dewey Wallace, to come and help. When he comes over, Seth explains what happened. The detective told Seth to make it look like a suicide, and that's exactly what he did. They set everything up and even wrote a note. They walked out separately, and Dewey covered up all the details at work. They thought they had the perfect plan, but they weren't counting on case closed.